Marilyn Manson's opening up for the first time about his sobriety as he celebrated his 56th birthday over the weekend at a party that had a lot of rock stars in attendance. Now, Manson made a surprising comeback last year after a wave of legal issues and allegations against him, which he has denied. And he lost his record deal. He lost a lot of members of his team. And so there were questions about whether or not he would come back. And even prior to that, to be honest, he wasn't putting in his best performances. It appeared he was struggling with substance abuse at that time. A lot of fans were saying they were disappointed walking away from those shows. So when he announced that surprising comeback, I was very interested to see what these shows were going to look like. He was announced as a support act for Five Finger Death Punch, and I was very impressed by the shows. He looks to be in really good shape and clearly has gotten sober, and I just love to highlight that here on this channel. And so here's what went down with Manson opening up about that sobriety. Manson returned to his music career last year, announcing his album, One Assassination Under God, Volume 1, and the album was well received, as were his live shows, as they looked a lot different than they did before his hiatus. After releasing that new album, Manson was ready to move on with his life. He announced he was dropping that lawsuit against his former girlfriend, Evan Rachel Wood. And in the years away from his music career, it's clear Manson has been working on himself and focusing on his sobriety. Over the weekend, he celebrated his 56th birthday at a party attended by a number of rock stars. You had Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke, the Smashing Pumpkins vocalist Billy Corgan, Manson's former bandmate and Motley Crue guitarist John Five, Wednesday 13, Richard Patrick of Filter, and many others. As Manson spoke to the attendees at the party, he revealed that he's almost 4 years sober, which garnered a big round of applause from all of those in attendance. Here's what Manson had to say.
Thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody here, even the new people I haven't met yet. And everybody else who's loved and supported me. I love you guys. Thank you for everything.
We love you.
In exactly 1 month, it'll be my 4 years sober. So I get another cake then too.
With almost 4 years of sobriety under his belt, that is a considerable amount of time, and he's just another rock star who can be an example for so many others who have struggled. Some we have chronicled here on this channel, and I gotta say, I didn't really think we'd ever see Manson getting sober, and he's obviously in great shape, so it's just a good situation there. And seeing so many other artists that have done it as well is just inspiring, because if there's one thing that really bums me out, it's seeing artists that have traveled the world, had these great experiences, made great music, and then at the end of their career, they're just struggling with addiction and they don't have anything to show for it. And it's just very sad, and it happens far too often. And I think we're entering into an era where a lot of artists are much more educated on taking better care of themselves out on the road, when you're not sitting there with those 23 hours a day when you're not playing a show, just drinking or using drugs, and instead you can focus on healthier things to do. And what you see is a lot of the artists who are there showing support for him are also sober themselves, or they just weren't into using substances anyway. So it seems like he's surrounding himself with people who also are like-minded, like Ronnie Radke, who of course has been sober. I remember when I had John Five on the podcast, he was saying that he just never even drank alcohol or anything. And so I think that's great to see. But anyways, it'll be interesting to hear Manson open up about this further if he does in the future. And, you know, I think he can be an example for other people going forward. Anyways, that's your latest update here from Rockfeed. Subscribe if you're new here with notifications on for the latest news and updates.